Hi guys, Ashley the Ash here, your favorite career branding expert. Sorry, I think our video got interrupted. I'm gonna jump back in and really talk about, I'm starting from the beginning just to make sure everybody gets everything. So basically I am discussing the career lessons I've learned from moving around the country and living in 5 cities in the last 5 years. For those of you who don't know me, I am a career branding expert and I help, I call brilliant professionals really increase their confidence, make boss money, and get unstuck at work. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my career journey and the action steps that you can take so you don't make my mistakes, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is my very first, I call it my grown-up move. And that's when I actually relocated from Fort Mill, South Carolina to the greater New York area. Okay, I was actually living in New Jersey. I took what I call one of my dream jobs, or the beginning of my dream job, with Mercedes-Benz. And what a lot of people don't know about that position is that it was a temporary role, right? So that means it was a 2-year project assignment. Basically, I would take this job and afterwards I'd have to find another job. This wasn't a permanent assignment or anything like that, right? So I took a risk and took the job. With that being said, because I thought of it as a temporary assignment, that's actually how I treated it. So I was actually still flying home on a, probably bi-monthly basis. So 2 or 3 times a month, I was flying home to hang out with my family and my friends. I really wasn't integrating into the local area. I really wasn't networking, meeting with people, bonding with coworkers, all the things that are really super important for your career. And what I discovered and what I learned is that is not the business, right? That is not the way to really move forward your career. And it was actually so noticeable that my manager actually talked to me about it during a development conversation, during a feedback. She was like, Ashley, you cannot isolate yourself. You really, really need to integrate yourself into the department. Let people get to know you, get to know other people. And I really had to listen to that advice and take it in, right? And as soon as I made the decision, the conscious decision to say, okay, Ashley, you know what? This is a temporary assignment, but relationships last a lot longer, right? Once I made that decision to fully integrate into the organization and not isolate myself, life changed, like literally overnight. I was invited to really cool parties and networking events. I got to grow my business. I got to actually become a career branding expert, which is actually what I'm doing today. I got to become a certified career coach. So many opportunities came because I decided to listen to my boss, who was amazing, and not isolate myself, right, guys? So as you're moving forward in your careers, in your businesses, in life, you really, really need to make sure that you are not isolating yourself, that you're really putting yourself out there and open and available to all opportunities, right? And a lot of times we don't know this until someone points it out. So I'm the person pointing it out, okay? Do not be like me. Do not isolate yourself, okay? So that's the very first career lesson I learned when I moved from Fort Mill, South Carolina to the greater New York area. Now, that was around, I want to say 2013, okay? Now, in 2015, another relocation happens. I actually moved from the greater New York City area to Silicon Valley, which is a crazy, crazy move because I have a background in human resources, not tech, right? I'm not, have a startup, I'm not a venture capitalist or anything like that. So for me, I feel like it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. When is an HR professional going to get the opportunity to relocate and move to work for Mercedes-Benz in Silicon Valley? So I definitely took that opportunity and learned as much as possible. And the one thing that I learned in 2015 when I made that leap from New York to Silicon Valley is change can be good, right? Like very disruptive, life-changing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. This is crazy, but amazing. Change can be good. A lot of times we think of change as super scary, super uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. I hate this. Life is crazy, like terrifying. Like I totally get it. I felt all of those emotions, but I learned so much. The energy in Silicon Valley, the relationships I built, the ideas that I was exposed to and learned, they were amazing, like amazing. There was no way that I could do what I do and share what I share with you guys and help clients and really become better as a person for myself if I didn't take that leap and make that giant change. So I want you guys to understand that life is scary, change is scary, but it can also be good, okay? Making decisions doesn't mean that you stop being scared, you stop being terrified. Making decisions means I'm open to learning and growth and amazing things happening, right? And those things can happen. So change can really, really, really be good, okay? The very next year in 2016, my life changed again. So I moved from Silicon Valley, California to the greater Los Angeles area. So I lived in SoCal, which most people think of. When you think of California, the beaches, the water, the palm trees, they think of like LA, like the Orange County vibe. That's exactly where I lived. And the weather was amazing. Living in California was amazing. But in that process, in that time, I often call SoCal, Southern California, my like desert experience, right? And the reason why I call it my desert experience is because while outside everything was light and bright and amazing and beautiful, my internal experience was very, very dark. There were a lot of life curveballs that really hit me and kind of almost took me out of the game, for lack of a better word. Lots of things that I had thought I wanted, had planned for it, I had kind of created my life around, they changed, and they changed overnight, and it left me feeling very down, very in a place that I didn't know. I was asking a lot of questions of God, like, what am I supposed to do? What is my life purpose? The person that I thought I would be with for like forever, right? My on again, off again high school boyfriend, we were permanently off. So that relationship ended actually while I was in the Los Angeles area. And the job, like the cool job that I had been building with Mercedes-Benz, the HR professional that I, all the cool things that I had done, as I said, this is what I'm doing with my career. It left me feeling very, very empty. It left me feeling like, you know what, there has to be more to life than this, right? And all of those things actually happened at the same time, right? So if it wasn't one thing, it was another. So I often refer to Southern California as my desert experience because life's curveballs actually hit me, and they all hit me all at once, right? And it actually caused a lot of internal questioning, like purpose and angst that I don't think we openly talk about, right? And to be honest, looking back, the experience was pretty bad, right? Because like that's just what it was. But it was also a defining moment, right? So I want you guys to know that when bad things happen, when unexpected things happen, when things that we said we wanted actually come true or don't come true, and we were not as excited or happy as we thought we'd feel, it's okay because life's curveballs help define us. That period in California defined me and my business and how I show up for you guys and how I share and how I connect with you guys, because you can go anywhere to get, interview strategies, resumes, and, career talk. Like, there's a lot of people you could go to, but a lot of people don't talk about the personal experience, the emotional journey, the hard decisions that you have to make. And in order for me to share the information with you, I had to have my own set of hard decisions. I had to have my own set of, things that I had to bounce back from. And I think you guys, we should totally be open to these experiences and embrace it. Now, I have to be honest, it sucks, right? It sucks while it's happening, but life's curveballs really helps define us. In Southern California, while it wasn't the best, time of my life, it helped me realize a lot of things about myself and helped me mature and grow as a person. So I want you guys to know that life's curveballs define us, and it's okay to go through what I call a darker period, to come out to the other side. It's actually going to make you a better, stronger person. Now, because of that whole transition in terms of California and a lot of things changing, I actually decided to make a move that was probably a lot different. And that was when I moved from Southern California back to Columbia, South Carolina. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, Ashley, why would you move from Southern California to Columbia, South Carolina? Aren't you going the wrong way? And to be honest, no. I had come to realize that a lot of things that I thought were important weren't actually as important as family. So when I moved to California, I was always flying across the country for birthdays and Mother's Days and things like that, but I couldn't make it to all the events. So I was actually missing out a lot on my family, and I came to understand that family matters, right? So that's another career lesson, the fourth career lesson that I learned across the country making that move. I learned that family is important and family matters. And when I moved to Columbia, South Carolina, I was able to really understand and deepen relationships that I hadn't deepened. I was able to stop focusing on trying to fly out to get back to my flight to, go wherever I lived and actually sit with people and really, really make memories that last a lifetime, that create stories that will be told years now from now. Remember that time when I did XYZ? So I'm always talking to you guys about careers and amazing things and making money, increasing confidence and doing these great things. And that's what I want for all of you, right? But I don't want you guys to do it if you're not excited and not committed. And remember that family and relationships are so important, right? So family really, really does matter. And the fifth thing I learned about moving, right? Another move that I made was actually from Columbia, South Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I have to be honest, this was an almost unwilling move, because there's been plenty of times where I could have moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And to be honest, all of 2017, I was visiting, and my sister would joke, you should move here. And I'm like, nah, I'm never gonna live in Atlanta. It's a cool place to visit, but I don't wanna live there. And I had to realize that when I'm moving to Atlanta, that I wasn't starting over, because that was my fear. I had been moving so many times over the last 5 years. I was kind of over moving and traveling. I feel like enough had been enough. And I felt like if I moved to Atlanta, I would have to start over. I would have to start from scratch. And to be honest, I was kind of tired of starting from scratch. But what I really have to understand and realize is that when you're doing your life's purpose, when you're moving forward in your career, when you're taking that natural next step, you're not really starting over, right? New beginnings, if you really think about them, aren't really new. Hi, Auntie Joyce, how are you doing? New beginnings aren't really new, right? They're just continuations of things that you've done in the past. So for me, moving to Atlanta, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'd have to, start my job over. I'd have to start my career over. Oh my gosh, I don't have any clients in Atlanta. I have to start a new client base. In my mind, I just felt like everything had to start over and everything had to start from scratch. And I had to come to a realization that that is not the case, right? That new beginnings aren't really new. You're continuing to travel along the path that you've always been on, right? So moving from South Carolina to New Jersey to Silicon Valley to LA prepared me for this move to Atlanta. And being in Atlanta has been an amazing blessing personally and professionally. I've learned a lot. I've met some really amazing people, and opportunities have appeared that, to be honest, I didn't have to work for, right? Because again, my fear was starting from scratch, and I don't have to start from scratch. I don't have to, start from the bottom. I'm already meeting people and relating with people on a level that I didn't think was possible, but I had to be open, right, to the move and to understanding that just because you're moving doesn't mean you're starting over, right? And that's really what I want to share with you guys in terms of the 5 career lessons I've learned living in 5 cities in the last 5 years. The first lesson really is that you don't isolate yourself. You have to make sure that you're integrating fully into whatever you're doing, whether that's a new job, a new career, a family. You really need to make connections and build those relationships. The next thing that's really important when you make the move, and understand that change can be good. Change can feel scary, but it can be amazing, and that's how I learned in Silicon Valley. The third thing that I learned from living in Los Angeles is that the desert experience is a requirement of life, right? You really can't avoid it, but life's curveballs actually help define who we are and help us to grow as a person and mature at a place that we really couldn't mature if we didn't have that experience. And then the next thing I learned moving from Los Angeles back to the East Coast to Columbia, South Carolina, is that family is so important. I am an advocate of, to be honest, you guys know I'm a money girl. I like making money. I like teaching people how to get really cool jobs and make them money. But what sense does it make to make money and be lonely and be sad and not be excited about life, right? So family matters, and it's so important. And the last thing I learned is that when you feel like you're starting over, you don't really have to feel that way. New beginnings aren't necessarily new, right? They're just continuations of experiences that you've had before. All of your experiences have built you to this particular place in your life, right? And I would hope that you guys like new experiences, because I would love for you to join me on my next one. So on August 11th, right, in about 2 weeks, I will actually have my first book signing, my first meet and greet. Many of you guys know and have purchased, and I thank you so much, my book, Finding Career Freedom. 60 Days to Increase Your Confidence, Make Boss Money, and Get Unstuck at Work. it's on Amazon, and it's on at Barnes and Nobles. You guys can find it. But this is actually my first time, my first official meet and greet. I will be at Half Price Books, Marietta, here in Georgia, and I would love for you guys to attend if you're in the area. If you're in the Atlanta area, definitely come check me out. We're gonna be there from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and we're gonna have fun, right? We're going to be doing laser coaching. So those people who have career questions, definitely come on out, check me out. I will actually be jumping on Facebook Live. So if you have questions, you're not actually in the area, you can still participate. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have games. We're going to have all kinds of cool, amazing things. And I would love to see your face in the place. Okay. I actually have a link that I'm going to drop down below for you guys to sign up on Eventbrite. It is completely free, but I will be there autographing books and offering details. So if you guys would like to join me, I will be at Half Price Books Marietta, right, for my first official book signing, my meet and greet, and I cannot wait to see you guys there, right? So I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and until next time, this is Ashley Dash, your favorite career branding expert. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.